Hi everyone, and welcome back to Bluegrass Dreams to Sings. My name is Cheryl. My channel is mostly about sewing, and sometimes I throw in a little bit about knitting. Although here lately I haven't really knitted as crazily as I used to. It's just things going on with this hand, and so it really does need a long break. It does. And I know what I need to do, and I just can't make myself do it. First off, I want to tell everyone thank you for all your lovely comments and your support that you give me, just sharing your stories about your sewing adventure, communicating with me. I really appreciate it. And I have a few new subscribers. It seems like every time I release a video, I gain a few more. Jen again. You know, I was in need of a mic because my mic suddenly broke, and she reached out to me and said she had a few spares sitting around and she wanted to just send one to me. So she sent this mic to me, and again, I just want you to know, Jen, I really appreciate all your help and all your support that you give all your people that have followed you. You started Friday Sews, and I know that you try really hard to watch as many as you can to support all of us, and that is just so nice. I finally finished my white shirt that incorporates the art quilt panel by Riley Blake, and it's part of her bloom design. Now also on my jacket that was featured last week, I had bought a packet of a charm pack and used some of the bloom design series in that as well. So this will be the last of that, and then I'm off on doing regular sewing again. It's just a creative outlet just to see if I can do it, and in some ways the shirt is successful and in some ways it is not, and we're going to go over all that. So I used Butterick 6747, and the shirt comes into two different lengths. I decided to hit somewhere in the middle and not do a shirt tail hem, but do more of a square look. At this point, I want to put some video in where I talk about the shirt in different parts, like the back, the front, the sleeves, cuffs, possibly the collar. I just think it's a good place to put it. I wanted to use this a little bit in here, so I think this is where I'm going to put it. And then we'll come back and we'll continue talking about the shirt and other changes I'm probably going to panel that I fell in love with. I just love that wreath of flowers and the wildlife around this bee. I really like that part of the panel. I chose up here on this part to do a pin tuck wave, just, you know, I kind of drew several different ones on paper, and then I just traced it off really lightly with pencil and then followed that line, and that's how it ended up once I cut out the panel, keeping this part here had to be centered. So here's the two fronts. Now initially I was only going to have this one pocket, but when I laid the two side by side, let me just throw something over it, I felt like that pink was lost in this big sea of white and it needed a friend. So I chose this one because there's a lot of pink right here, and this has a lot of pink in it, and then you've got this bit of here echoed here and this wing on the bee. So I decided that was the best one to go with. Now I am thinking about adding a bit of lace edging to the top of each of these just to dress them up a little bit, but I haven't settled on which one that's going to be. Initially, these cuffs were planned to be cut out of this part of the panel. However, I was going to have white on both sides, and I couldn't have that when I was cutting out the back panel. I couldn't get that a deep enough white strip here. It was very, very thin. Let's talk about this shirt. So here's my shirt. Now, I put 2 pockets on there because I felt like when I put one on there, it was kind of lost in all this white. We're going to get back to these pockets. Here's the back of the shirt. I love the back of the shirt. I fell in love with this whole thing right here. That's why I bought this panel. Now on the back, I decided to use my pintuck foot, and I did one of these little wave-like pintuck designs in the very top here, because it is sort of yoked since you've got this line of entredeux going here. There's more entredeux on the sides, and there's some at the bottom as well, because I had to have a way to attach these fabric strips, and I felt like that was the best way to kind of feature this whole thing. So I love the back of the shirt. I love the trim I chose to use here. I needed something, and I had this ribbon trim. It was just narrow enough and had all the colors that you see here in it. This trim goes down the edge of the right panel, right on that button band, and the cuff has it as well. What I'm going to do today is, I think these pockets are coming off because I don't like them. So I'll have to carefully take this off, and then I'll take my steam iron, and it'll close all the little holes that's been created. And then I'm going to try it on again. And if I like it with just no pockets, these won't be going back on there. Now another thing about these pockets is I think they're about 1 inch too high. I think they should actually be starting here at the edge and going down to about right here. When I tried it on, the pockets are resting like really high, and I don't like it. I don't like where they hit me at all. And I'm kind of thinking that with the ribbon detail, I've probably done enough to tie it into just having the back as my detail and not putting anything else on this shirt. That is my art shirt, incorporating that quilt panel, and here in a few minutes it will be -2 pockets. Of course, I'm sure it'll probably take more than 5 minutes to take those off, but I'm unbuttoning it and I'm getting ready to take this seam ripper and go to work. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.